So in this problem, it's a tricky little problem because it's got two things going on. And really your first step is to, if you're trying to find the area of the shaded region, is you need to find an area of the region with the circle in it, without the circle at all. So we need to kind of think about it as if the whole thing was shaded. And so what's the area of this? And that's kind of tricky because we can't really see what's going on. But if we draw it in, we see that basically what's happened is there is an overlap of this square between these two larger squares. And they're 4 by 4 larger squares. So you essentially have 32 inches of square inches because you got two 4 by 4, 4 times 4 is 16. There's two of them, so it's 32. But then there's this overlap that's counted twice. So to find the area of the entire shaded region, we need to subtract away the overlap. And so this overlap is actually pretty easy to find because it tells you that this point and this point are midpoints of the sides. It says they are bisecting their intersecting sides. And so that means if this is 2 and this is 2, then this overlap is a 2 by 2 square, which would be area 4. So it turns out that the area of the two shaded squares together is 28. Now we have to go figure out what is the area of this circle. Well, the diameter turns out to be, of the overlapping part, turns out just to be the hypotenuse of the triangle created. So essentially we take this overlapping square, 2 by 2 square, and we draw in a diagonal, and that's the diameter of the circle. And so this is 2 and this is 2, and so if you know your 45, 45, 90 degree formula, you would know that this length is 2 root 2. And a 45, 45, 90 degree triangle, you multiply the short leg, one of the legs, by root 2 to find the hypotenuse. If you didn't know it, then you just make that x and you use the Pythagorean theorem. But whatever the case, the diameter becomes 2 root 2, so the radius is just half the diameter, and 2 root 2 divided by 2 is just root 2. So the area of the circle is pi r squared, so we square root 2 and multiply times pi. Root 2 squared is equal to 2, and so the area of the shaded region is 28 pi, the area of the two overlapping squares, minus the overlapping circle, which is 2 pi. And so 28 minus 2 pi is the answer, D. So the tricky thing on this one was the fact that we really had to subtract away two different parts. We had to subtract away the area of the shaded region, or the area, and then the area of the circle. Now, the other way you could have done this is looked at it like this, and just considered this shape here, where you find the area of that, and then you find the area of the semicircle, and subtract it away. But it's just as easy. The calculations turn out to be the exact same, just divided by 2. And so 28 minus 2 pi would be found either way, and this way was probably the best.